Sagittarians, it's Amanda here with your July 2017 RuneScope. This month, in conjunction with the runes, I will be using the Medieval Scapini Tarot deck by Luigi Scapini. Then, as always, be sure to join me for part 2 over on my Vimeo channel, where I will be pulling one card from the Ascended Masters Oracle deck by Doreen Virtue for your spiritual guidance for the month of July. So whatever comes up, that reading tends to, or that spiritual advice tends to give you some pertinent advice to dealing with whatever energies may pop up. Also, over on my Vimeo channel, you will find your mid-year check-in reading. These readings cover July through December of 2017. So yeah, if you want to it can always help when I do these monthly videos. It's such a compressed short time frame. I mean, 1 month is a very short period of time. So it can really help kind of deal with those energies sometimes if you see like the bigger picture and where you're headed. So I do encourage you to check that out. The link to my Vimeo channel is below this video. Just click or tap show more or the little arrow to open the details section if you're on a handheld device, and you can follow that link over there. If you are new to my channel, welcome. And if you find my readings resonate with you, please do hit the subscribe button. That way my new videos, whenever I upload them, will go straight to your feed and you won't have to go searching for me. But let's see here, Sagittarians. What is going on July 2017? Sag. Let me see which runes grab on here. Now, as always, Sag, these are general readings, and what that means is not all of these messages will apply to you as an individual. Some will be talking to other Sagittarians out there. So you can watch the video for your rising sign to get clarification or some more information about other areas of life that may be lit up for you in July. But the only way to get a reading that is specifically about you and your situation, the issues you may be dealing with, is to schedule a private reading with me. I do sessions on Skype for $70. Just drop me a line at the email address in the video, or also again below the video in the details section, and we can get your appointment set up. And let's see, got a lot of runes wanted to talk to you, Sag. Challenge for the month of July. 7 of Swords, but it's in reverse. This is a good card in reverse. Let me see what the runes are adding to this here. Well, there is 7 of Swords in the upright can mean like someone taking something from you, something or someone, or it's kind of the card of stealing in the upright. In the reverse, I tend to see this show up in, you know, especially with this rune here, it seems like there may be a protective influence or a protective person returning to your life, or a protective influence returning to your life. Now, this could be a person for some of you. For others of you, it could just be your own protective instincts, you know, where you're like, intuitively maybe picking up on when a situation is bad, or when the vibes are bad, or when like maybe the vibes you're getting from someone are bad. But this is coming up in your challenge position. So, I mean, maybe you've been tuning out of your intuition more often than not, Sagittarius, for whatever reason, or refusing to see red flags or ignoring them. And we don't always consciously ignore red flags when it comes to people. Sometimes it's a subconscious thing. We just think, oh, well, yeah, that's a little concerning, but I'm gonna let it slide. Or, you know, maybe that's the only flaw with this person. But I really feel like this month your guides are trying very hard to communicate with you, Sagittarius. And they are trying to get you, I feel, to move, to shift, to leave a situation, a job, a relationship, you know, whatever's unhealthy for you. But your challenge may be to to either hear that, pick up on those messages, or to do this. Now, some of you, this has to do with a job offer. So, I mean, there may be a lucrative offer on the table, or you may be interested in applying for a job, but it may require a move or a relocation. It seems like Leo got something similar. I think Leo or Aries. About moving, like in connection with a job. So, you know, and I do feel like this is like a step up or an offer that would be like improve your finances considerably. But yeah, there's something about, I don't know if I'm kind of afraid to leave this job that I've been at for so long because I know the routine so well and I'm so familiar with it and I know all the people. Or it may be, again, because the commute would be longer, or you would actually have to relocate for this. And that may just be exhausting to think about, because this is a rune in the reverse of just feeling tired and like, oh my God, I don't want to move, or I don't want to leave. But I think Sagittarius, with what's coming up here, what they're wanting you to consider with the spirit messages rune is this coming up because it's what I'm supposed to do? You know, and normally kind of like things like this, when they are serendipitous, like maybe you weren't even looking for a job, but somebody sent you a link, or you just happened to be on another website and saw an ad for this job and clicked it. And anytime it's kind of like you're not really looking for something and it just shows up, that tends to be spirit guided. So, and not that you know, if you were looking to change that, you know, it can't happen too, but especially when you are in those situations where, you know, it wasn't even on your mind, you weren't even thinking about it, but then you just kind of clicked on something, or somebody sent it to you, or you overheard someone talking about a job opportunity. Things like that are normally spirit sent, right? They're for you specifically. So yeah, there's something going on with an opportunity to improve your money. And there are drawbacks to everything, Sagittarius. Nothing, you know, in life, unfortunately, is, I mean, rarely is it just, you know, smooth sailing. There's always kind of usually a compromise that comes along with the decisions that we make. It's like, yes, I could take this job, but I would have to give up this, or, you know. There are always other factors to consider, but, you know, especially with a move or a relocation, there could be, you know, it's usually bigger than the job. Like maybe there are other people you're supposed to meet there. Maybe there would be more opportunities there for work. You know, maybe there's a teacher or a mentor that you're going to meet in that location that if you stay where you are, you would never meet them. So there are all these kind of, you know, factors that come into play, and all these reasons that things like this may come up. But I mean, the most kind of straightforward reason would just be it's a better job, it's better money, you could live a better life, you could live, you know, the way that you want to live, or at least take a step closer to that. But yeah, this may come with some obstacles, like as far as figuring it out, you know, and leaving behind people that are familiar. If this is just a job change and that's what's scaring you, then, you know, don't psych yourself out about it, because again, you can kind of get stuck in your head and worry about things that are not real, they're illusion. So in the present energy, you've got the Three of Wands in reverse. And again, I think either Leo or Aries had this, but in a different position. So this would be in the present, end of June going into July, first week or two of July. There's something changing your plans, because it is like, this is kind of like going back to the drawing board, or figuring something out, figuring out the way forward. And then you've got Ansus, which is the rune of the job interview. So for many of you Saggies, I really feel like there's something going on here with career, with a new opportunity, something that changes the game or changes your plans in a good way, but it just kind of puts another option on the table. And it does seem to be one that many of you weren't expecting with the Three of Wands in reverse. So, but I mean, this is bringing you, this is kind of like a victory being handed to you on a silver platter. So that's why I think it may be presenting a challenge, because it's kind of like, man, if I turn this down, I feel like everything in your being is going to be saying, do not pass this up. You will regret it. For some of you, it could be an opportunity to go study somewhere, take a course, maybe get into a school, go to college, go back to school, because this is also the rune of academics and learning. Some of you may be studying, wanting to get certified in some sort of IT, computer, internet, programming, that sort of, anything to do with the internet, because maybe you're just really good with that, really good with computers and programming and getting computers to do what you want, fixing computers, and maybe you are wanting to like actually get like a formal certification or something in that. But yeah, I got a lot of techie runes or things like that. So I'm seeing a lot of buttons too. So some of you may be like sound engineers, or wanting to study that, or wanting to study, yeah, something to do with entertainment or music, and producing it specifically, you know, maneuvering the buttons. Some of you may just be musicians, because, you know, you have to set your amps, and I don't know anything about it, but yeah, I see them always doing, you know, adjusting their volumes and amps and things. So, but yeah, some of you may be wanting to formalize this experience in some way, or if you are a musician, maybe it is a chance to go in the studio and record that comes up. There's an opportunity for you to do that. There's an opportunity for you to play some gigs, but again, maybe it's the travel. Maybe this is like a tour, an opportunity to go on tour or something. Because again, travel or long commutes seem to be a factor here. But this is something you've put a lot of work into. Or, you know, it is kind of something you've always wanted to do, and maybe you just, you know, you're just at the point here in July of 2017 that you really want to talk to someone about it, or see what your options are, or check into it, research it a little bit. And all of the indications are, Sagittarius, whatever this is what you're supposed to be doing. It's the path you're supposed to be on, at least for right now, right? I mean, we don't always stay on the same path our whole lives, but it seems like a change. It's time to change something up, especially about career and the way that you're making your living, and maybe your skill level, expanding that, getting more education, learning more skills, expanding your skill set, learning a new skill. Now the help that's going to be available to you, we do have the Four of Swords. So, and this is coming up next to the rune of home and family. So you could be in July, while you're kind of thinking all of this over, mulling it all over, just taking kind of a retreat, a staycation. Maybe this comes up while you're in the States anyway. We have July 4th, and it's right in the middle of the week. So maybe you're just taking that whole week off, or kind of taking like some extra days around it in order to just kind of take a step back and think about what you want to do about this opportunity. Or maybe this opportunity comes up, you're kind of poking around on the internet while you're at home, and this pops up. But it is coming up as a help to you to take a break around the house. If you've been working on a home, renovating a house, you may need a break from that too. Because this rune can also mean, yeah, fixing up a property, purchasing a property, looking into real estate. But maybe you've been doing that a little bit too much in your downtime, and you need a break from that. Some of you maybe you're looking into flipping houses for a living. Maybe there are some things you want to learn how to fix so that you can do that yourself, instead of like hiring a contractor or that sort of, and having to pay out all that cash. You would rather kind of learn how to fix it yourself, or maybe you're wanting to get certified in something like that. So you're kind of looking into it. It's like, oh, if I did that, then I could fix a lot more stuff on my own without having to have the overhead or put out that money in order to have someone else do it. So yeah, there are anything about just kind of retreating to home, but not working on it. Maybe considering it, maybe mulling it over. For some of you, if there is a house or a property that you put an offer in on and it wasn't accepted, or maybe you haven't heard back, this is saying just wait, you know, again, retreat, just take a break from it. There's nothing else you need to do. I feel like many of you, it's going to come back around. For some of you, maybe that's what this is. It's like you thought you lost it, or you thought the deal fell through, and then it's coming back around and you get it. Maybe something happens with the other. If you were in a bidding war and someone else got it, perhaps, you know, something's happening there where it falls through. Maybe there's something that needs fixed and they don't want to fix it, and you might, maybe you know how to fix it, Sagittarius. So yeah, there's a few different ways this could work. But yeah, that could also tie into the going back to the drawing board and communicating or waiting on communication from someone about a property. And I feel like really though that, you know, your help is to just, okay, well, that's my final offer. I can't go any higher than that. And then, you know, it may turn out that your offer turns out to be enough, considering what is found out about the property or another deal falling through. So yeah, there's the return of something that you thought was maybe off the table. This could also be the return of a job offer, or maybe a job you interviewed for back a few months ago or even last year, coming back around. Again, with the Seven of Swords, it's like something you thought you lost or was taken from you or given to someone else or stolen from you, comes back for, they're throwing the ball back at you, Sagittarius, in July in some way. Now, what must be accepted? We've got Four of Coins. So this is a card of holding on to your money. It's like, I don't want to spend, you know, goes along with this. I'm not going any higher on this property. I'm saving. Or I'll find another house. Or I'll find another property for this. For this amount. I can't go any higher. So yeah, stand your ground when it comes to your money. Hold on to it. Because you are going to need it for other things, or you're going to need it to put into another property here. Now, fours also talk about health and stability. So if you have been concerned about a relative, you may be going to visit a sick relative or going to visit an ailing relative. For some of you, it may be a mother or mother-in-law. And it seems like this person will be on the mend at some point in July and actually getting their health stabilized or getting the situation stabilized, because fours are a nice solid number, right? So, and you may have had some disagreements also, some of you, about money with a partner, with a mother figure or a mother-in-law, or, you know, maybe there was someone giving you advice on how you should and shouldn't spend your money. Or this could also just be anyone closest to you. So even a spouse or a roommate or boyfriend, girlfriend, somebody living with you and sharing the expenses. But yeah, maybe you've had disagreements on spending and what we should spend our money on and how much we should save and how much we should put into something before we call it quits. So there may be some disagreements on that. There also may be some disagreements on going back to this, with either mom or a spouse, a boyfriend, girlfriend, about a job opportunity and moving. Now, Sag, when these energies come up, this can also be like someone close to you who has the job offer and you kind of having to deal with it. These energies can always work both ways. For some of you, it'll be you. For others of you, maybe it's your partner. And you're like, but I don't want to move. And then you're trying... You're like trying to figure out, again, Leo got a very similar energy. Those of you Saggies with Leos, if your spouse or partner is a Leo, or if your mom's a Leo, I really feel like with you specifically, this will probably resonate. Because yeah, there's some kind of disagreement about either travel, those of you that are maybe going on tour, maybe your spouse doesn't want you to go, or If the commute is too long for a new job, your spouse may be like, oh man, you're gonna be spending a lot of money on gas. And I really do feel like if it's just a commute though, the money you're making is gonna more than make up for it. So, but yeah, I mean, your spouse may not wanna move, but it's gonna kind of come down to, well, whose job pays the most money? That's the most practical way to, like, which job is gonna give you more financial stability and allow you to save money for the future, you know? And sometimes it's maybe like who's more mobile, who can more easily find a job elsewhere, you know, me or you. So yeah, I feel like there are some discussions about moving and involving a job change. Now the outcome, we've got the Three of Cups in reverse for the outcome of July. And I'm just kind of like, I'm just seeing like this discussion or argument or disagreement kind of taking precedence over the end of the month. And there may even be something that you have to go to, like a celebration or a family reunion or a party or something you're invited to, that you may decide not to go just because you're drained from discussing this with your partner, or you know, or you may go, but you're just having a lousy time because there's tension between you and your partner, because you've been arguing about this. There may also be, for some of you, a reunion with a former partner, a former flame, but it's like it's not somebody you want to hear from again. It's like, this is like the bad reunion, right? It's like, oh God, I was hoping I'd never hear from you again. And you may be kind of like, what does this person want? Those of you that are hearing from somebody from the past, it's like, really, what does this person want? And it may be a long time or a bit of a stretch before like they actually come just out with it. Like, what, you know, why are you contacting me after so long? And what do you want? It seems like it may take a while to either figure that out or drag it out of them. I mean, I don't know. But yeah, I'm just seeing, for those of you in relationships, in partnerships already, there may be some disagreements involving a move or around a job opportunity, travel, that sort of energy. And some of you with the Four of Swords, you may be like, I need a break. I'm going to go stay with my family, because this rune is also, you know, like the family of origin. So your parents or where you grew up, your childhood home, that sort of energy, or older relatives. So yeah, you may just be like, you know what, I'm going to go stay at mom and dad's for a while, and we'll talk about this later. You may just be too angry. And that's the advice here. Like, if you are feeling like just really fuming, and things get a bit heated, you know, it's probably gonna be best to go spend the night somewhere else. Just take a night and retreat, get some rest, and think about things on your own without. Sometimes when we are with someone, we forget what it's like to make our own decisions. And I'm not saying that everyone is codependent, but I mean, you just, as a couple, work things out together, and you're so used to hearing someone kind of talking in your ear that it becomes kind of difficult to remember, are these my thoughts, or am I being given these thoughts? Like, is there, you know, am I just doing everything this person wants instead of like what I want? And again, that goes back to your challenge, Sagittarius. What do you want? Just because you're married or in a relationship doesn't mean you stop having goals, or that you even should stop having goals. Someone who really loves you will support you in those goals and be willing to do whatever is necessary within reason, if they don't have to give up too much, to make that happen, because they want to see you happy, right? A happy partner means a happy relationship. So you may be considering that, you know, if this person won't support me in this, are they the right partner for me? Now, if it is too big of an ask, if your partner has the better paying job or they would have trouble finding work there, or maybe their entire family lives where you live now and they would have to leave all of that behind, then it's, you know, maybe it's too big of an ask. Again, it's just one of those situations I feel like we're gonna have to weigh things out, but I think what's really kind of pulling you in here is the money. It seems to be a really lucrative offer, in addition to being something that you really want to learn how to do that would provide, again, a lot of financial stability for you in the future. So I think it's going to be a month of making pros and cons lists here, Sagittarius, in order to make a decision. But any job interviews you do go on, or anybody you're talking to at schools or things like that, it's going to go really well. You're going to do really well in that. But like I said, join me for part 2 of this reading over on Vimeo. I'm going to shuffle these Ascended Masters cards and see which one of these I want to focus on the tension here and your challenge, and see if we can get some more advice from Source for you for the month of July. So good luck with July, Sagittarius. Thanks for watching, and I will see you back here next month.